You can talk now.
It helps with recording. You can talk now.
I know. Usually I'm typing.
Yeah, usually it's some sort of typing or other noise, and I just need to get my few seconds of silence.
Yes. 5 short seconds.
5 short seconds.
5 short seconds of silence.
That should be like our new even shorter. Give it a shot. 5 short seconds.
5 short seconds.
That sucked.
Yeah. Stone
Belgo barley wine.
Ooh, smell?
Drink it.
Got taste? Ah!
Yeah. Bite again?
Oh. It was not dynamite.
It was not dynamite.
10-second review. All right. Well, we're here again, podcasting from the guest room.
At your house, at your celebration.
That's right.
What are we celebrating?
We're celebrating birthdays, and we're just celebrating family and being together.
And that's good, because we brought another member of the family in on this podcast again.
That's
whether
right, we
anyone
did.
likes it or not.
Yeah. And whether he liked it or not.
Yeah, whether he liked it or not, exactly.
He's hostage.
The things I'll do for beer.
That's right.
We
We're
told
a
him
podcast for beer.
that was his sign that he
Little
had.
podcast for beer.
And we've got another beer from Stone Brewing Company on this. Give it a shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith.
And I'm Joe.
All right.
Oh, wow. And see, he's getting into this. We do like one more, and he'll just be completely in the flow.
I just don't want to disappoint. I'm afraid
We'll take away your
that
drinking
my
privileges.
enthusiasm could affect the amount of my pour.
This is true. It actually does.
So show a lot of enthusiasm,
So,
damn it.
what do we have from Stone Brewing Company today?
Looks like the Stone Belgo Anise Imperial Russian Stout. Ale brewed with anise, oak chips, and Belgian yeast.
So this is something they do that they've just started. It's called Odd Beers for Odd Years.
Okay. It's the...
So they do their normal Imperial Russian Stout. They're still making that. But then in odd years, they're also making these different versions of that original recipe. So this one, they're using a Belgian yeast strain to kind of change it up a little bit. And they did the same thing earlier in the year with the barley wine, which I actually have one in the fridge and still have not drank that yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, because
The
I was
Belgo,
hoping to find another one. I mean, I don't know if it's good or not, but I like having at least another one, because in case it is, it would be like, wow, great, it's the only time I get to have this then.
Yeah.
Because you can't, this is one of those ones, once they're gone, they're gone. And I was lucky enough, I was actually in California and picked these up from Stone Brewing itself.
Oh, that's
I was
right.
at the brewery.
Just in June? Is that when you got these?
Yeah, middle of June. So it
Nice.
had been out for just a couple weeks. They had it there, so I bought several of these, hoping that it was good.
10.5% alcohol by volume. So how much was this at the Stone Brewery?
It was their usual, the $5.99.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So I've got it open. What do you see from the color there?
I see darkness on the edge of town. I've been listening to too much Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, you just come back from your trip to
Jersey.
Jersey.
That's very dark with that brown tinged head again. Black? Dare we say black? Or should we just go dark brown?
It's taking brownness to a level of blackness.
It's just under, if it is.
Extends the boundaries
It's very close to black, and definitely the carbonation really hanging around there. It's not a lot, but it's a very dense head.
Yes. It's quite tenacious.
Got something you want to say to that?
We'll just let the dense head comment stand.
To the aroma?
To the aroma. That's licorice, by God.
I said, "Opa."
So when I first had this, when I smelled it, I actually thought it smelled like a sarsaparilla with hickory smoke, like oak chips in there.
See, I do get the anise. I
like said that because sarsaparilla,
I
kind
definitely
of have
get that.
Like for some reason, it didn't seem quite to the extent of black licorice, but it's definitely there. There's a dominant.
Yeah.
Well, what would have
licorice
been
aroma.
interesting was, if I didn't know the name of it and what was in it, maybe I wouldn't have pinpointed that. But
I think
knowing
so. I mean,
it,
that's
definitely.
I think so. I mean, that's pretty strong.
There are some...
It's
kind of like a
absinthe,
sweeter.
Since we've had absinthe.
Yeah, actually.
There are some beers, though, that even if they don't have anise in them, will have notes of that. And I'm sure it's maybe from one of the malts or hops or something. But there are... I've had similar aromas.
So actually, I just learned this the other day because one of our listeners and friend of mine, Jason, he's actually started brewing a little homebrew himself a little bit. Nice. And he's been doing a lot of reading. And he actually read that anise actually helps with head retention in beer.
Oh, in beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me some anise.
Yeah. Wow, Joe just drank his entire beer right there.
It's been 4 hours.
Yeah. All right. But actually, absinthe is a really good description because it's slightly different than, because I know that's licorice too, but it's got a different aroma to it.
Because absinthe it's like an anise almost with a menthol kind of quality to it or something.
Because you and I...
Have we tasted yet?
You and I
think
have
we should.
luged many times together.
Yes, and we've drinking anise together too.
That
Oh.
too. As well.
Hey.
I blew the line.
All right. Well, let's not blow this. Let's just have some. Let's try
No
some
more
beer.
line blowing. Let's drink
Yeah,
some
no more
beer.
line blowing.
more.
Time to try the beer.
No more talk of head retention.
Yes.
Wow.
There's a lot of flavor in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Stone's not holding back.
The licorice doesn't come through till the end,
Yep.
and that's good. Because although I like licorice, I wouldn't want it to dominate my beer.
Actually,
know,
that's a
I
new
get-
movie I just made. It's called Licorice Domination. Are you familiar with it? No? Okay.
Although, if you hold it in your mouth, the licorice is there.
See, I get it pretty much the whole time.
No, on my second sip, I held it in my mouth a little bit longer, and there is almost a menthol-y quality there, too.
And that is then more like absinthe.
I agree. That's really a good call on that, I think.
You know what maybe it is after your initial drink, your second drink, you still have some of that fumes floating around in there. So then you get it the whole, I get the whole, but it's not,
that
it's
second
not
sip,
overpowering to where it's like, oh, black jelly beans or something, or,
Well, there are other things in there, too. Whatever that absinthe quality is, that's in there. I guess a little bit of the smokiness is in there.
I'm getting that. I'm getting the nice roasted character from the malts.
There's that.
I'm definitely getting a little bit of the, the oaky kind of wood chippy in there, too. There's a little bit of that, kind of some sort of bourbon, not quite bourbon barrel, but some
you
kind
get that
of
on
quality
the, on
like
the
that.
finish.
It's a little lip smacky. You can definitely tell it's a little sticky. My lips are a little sticky.
Is there a little bit of chocolate in there, too?
A little bittersweet
A
chocolate.
little
kinda at the end.
something just kind of like holding it all together. Not like dominant. It's just sort of like maybe it's just all those flavors together bring that to my mind, but there's just something in there that's like that too.
I like the body in this. It's kind of a little,
Body's good.
a little
That's what I was
olive
just
oily,
thinking.
kind of
Yeah,
like
that's
thicker.
what I was just thinking about. It has it stays on your palate. It's not just gone. That's what I was just thinking, like oily, almost a little bit.
I think I would like this as the weather gets colder.
Gee, Keith, I'm really surprised you said that.
Not a summertime beer for me, but lots
No.
of good flavors in there. Nice. That could almost be like dessert. I could have that with some chocolate.
I'm surprised you said it's like a 10% alcohol by volume, and you don't really I don't get alcohol at all. Like,
There's too many other strong things.
and I guess
really
and
just
I-
keeping that down.
It's almost like all the other flavors and qualities of it overpower the fact that it is that strong of a beer.
Yeah, I think I really like the finish. I really like the kind of the aftertaste. What's kind of just left, just a little bit of everything. Like I said, obviously, I think at the forefront is that anise when you take that sip, and that really hits you a lot. But after you've taken the drink, you've just got a lot of nice. Just kind of the body was nice, and that's kind of hanging out there. A little bit of the smoke, a little bit of the wood chip. All these different things just kind of hang out and kind of hit you in different ways, but it all feels cohesive.
I don't know if it has to do with if it ties in with the smokiness part but there is some of that kind of brininess a little too there.
Yeah, it was a little salty on that.
But it's all so blended together so well. I see that's the thing. From hearing the description of what's in it, I thought that doesn't really sound good.
Right.
But yet it's like Stone Brewery. See, that's why, because it was Stone, I knew that it was worth it.
In Stone we trust.
Yes.
in Stone we trust.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it is. It all blends together so well that it's really interesting and tasty.
Like most of their stuff, this comes only in a 22 ounce, bomber. You can't buy this in a 6-pack or anything like that. I would find it, I think, hard to actually drink a whole 22 ounce bottle of this by myself.
Yeah, that might
just
be-
because the flavors are so intense. This really is a beer that, like I said, is meant for, like I said, sharing, savoring. Because even as this warms up, you're kind of getting some different
More
flavors too.
yep.
You're getting more flavors, and they're really good. And which I think is, as over the years, like you always kind of think it used to be, oh, gross, my beer's getting too warm. But if a beer is really good, even at some of those warmer temperatures, you don't mind drinking it or finishing it.
Well, especially a
If
more
it really is
complex
good.
beer that's got a lot of
Yeah.
flavors like this.
For instance, I think as Budweiser gets warmer, it's just fantastic.
That's when
It
it's
does.
at its peak.
The subtleness of the rice and the corn
Yeah.
or
That
whatever's in
Beechwood
there
just hit you.
The Beechwood aging.
smacks you in the face and says, hello.
Warm Beechwood in the morning.
God. Is that what you call it these days?
Nothing like
My
the smell
Beechwood?
of Beechwood in the morning.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the smell of victory.
Nothing's quite as
Or
good.
old beer.
That's the smell of failure. Smells like failure.
That was the first line from Apocalypse Now, and then they changed it. They said, no, let's go with the napalm thing.
Let's see napalm and victory.
Yeah, this Beechwood.
Well, Robert Duvall was a big
Budweiser.
Budweiser guy.
He was a big Budweiser guy. But obviously not when it got warm, because he also said it smelled like failure. That's why you got to put it in the. Is it? It's not. That's not Budweiser. Who was the Vortex bottle that we reviewed?
Miller.
Miller. We actually tried the Vortex bottle.
Joe even laughed.
Yeah,
that's good.
We did, and we figured out like they basically created this because like you don't want to taste it, so get it down your gullet as fast as you can.
It's like, how can we combine beer bogging and a bottle?
Yeah. Beer bong in a bottle.
Beer bong in a bottle.
So this is why we need Joe for this extra perspective.
Yeah, the beer bong in a bottle.
They should even create it with like an extra long neck so that actually you could just put it all the way down your gullet.
I like that we've used gullet at least 3 times.
I know,
in this
that's pretty
podcast.
awesome. Oh, that's
Gullet.
so funny.
Gullet.
Like, how did it taste? I don't even know.
I don't know.
It went down
I
my
tasted
gullet.
some of the glass because that touched my tongue, but the beer itself actually just went right into my belly. All right. Well, head on over to the website at AboutBeverages.com and check out our tasting notes for this delicious Imperial Russian Stout, along with where it hits on our recommendation scale. And once again, like to thank our brother Joe for hanging out and forcing him to have a beer with us and get on the microphone.
Well, thank you for having me.
Check out his new blog posts at... No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Joe has actually started his own website.
It's like, we'll podcast for beer.
We'll podcast for beer and
That could be the name of your blog.
Yeah, you could have a little blog going or something. But while you're at the website, definitely check out everything we've got to offer. Follow us on Twitter, fan page on Facebook. Do that. Check out the drink database. That's all the stuff when we're not podcasting. If we've had it, that's where we try and put something up there.
Keep track of it.
That's right. That's where we try and keep track of it. But whether we like it or not,
You should give it an Imperial shot.